you cannot handle real work, reality talk, 80+ language, simply skip the video.
So actually, I'm now in the center, and as you know, I don't film a lot in the center, but now I just forced myself a little bit to something new. But, oh yeah, this is Vidisha Boulevard Vidisha. I don't know the correct order of the words. You know, yesterday, no, 2 days ago, I talked with a young guy. Okay, I'm going somewhere with this. Like, because most people just say things. They just really say things. So this young man, he is actually, he was texting with a girl and waiting for a half an hour or an hour, and you know, and actually wondering why they don't respond. But the thing is, what I want, and then I actually, because I know where a lot of people work all over pretty much Sofia, so I said there is one girl here and there exactly your age, very nice energetic woman, girl, because you know this young man was under the 20s. So, but the thing is, am I a pervert? No, not at all. But I know where people are working because I'm pretty much constantly all over the city. So I actually told him where this woman works so he could take action. But so far he didn't do anything. And this is now when it's about time and taking action, right? Instead of going on a tram for 10 minutes and put things into work, not straight away, you know, just begging for a date or whatever, just put yourself on the radar. But instead of doing that, they prefer to talk with their, I would like to say, in the most respectful way, with their boyfriends, talk about fucking nothing, waiting for a girl to respond on fucking Instagram. The thing is, that is all fun, but you have to understand, to stand out, you have to do different things. And also I actually talked with another guy about it. He actually took some action, but he takes a lot of his fucking boyfriends, and I call them boyfriends because they giggle around and then in the hope that they get a little bit of attention. You're just a sheep in the herd. That's what you are when you go try to hit on a woman and come with your boyfriends. And I'm gonna say it like this because that's how it looks like. You know, a lot of people just talk. They want this, they want that. And what are you gonna bring to the table? Pretty much nothing. You know, put in the effort. Also think about this, you know, how you fucking dress up. Do you dress up like the rest of the country? Or you put in a little bit of thought? I don't know, you know, sometimes when people ask me, don't you get sometimes tired of talking or, you know, trying to help people out? No, not really, but I'm sharing this. Now sometimes I maybe do. Yesterday I got a little bit tired of it. Not from this specific situation, but doesn't matter. Tiredness is just a temporary thing. But I want to share this kind of stuff, you know, the young guys, just a sec, they also, I don't think that they're also very aware of the amount of competition. You should take action. Take action. Stop talking about bullshit things with your boyfriends, because that doesn't get you laid. Not at all. You can sit together in the park and giggle and touch each other a lot. That is all fun, but don't start, you know, doing it a lazy way. DM girls and then in the hope, you know, that's what it is, hoping and wishing, begging on your fucking knees, and also not even taking care of how their Instagram looks like. You know, do you represent your personality over there, or you're posing? You know, that's also something. Posing in front of the mirror like a woman. in the fitness thing. A lot of people do this as well. Posing. So when they see you in real life, you look like, nah, yeah, we all understand how that looks like. You see, the thing is, that's why with this kind of vlogs, you can exactly see how I look like. You will know how I speak before you even meet me. You know, I don't operate in the bullshit area. And also when it's about the training videos, you can see me walking half naked around, and I don't look at the light and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, sometimes I do a screenshot, you know, but that's it. Hey, I'm not posing in front of the mirror with the phone in front of my head, and that's also something. Most people like to hide their faces. That is actually, I think, one of the most important things, that people can actually see your expression while you're doing something. So are you actually interesting to watch? And again, this is actually again this Jim Carrey quote, right? Are you interested with what you're doing, so you're interesting to watch, or you're just one of those lame asses who just do something without any emotion? How do you attract people with this? Not. You simply don't. Is this another rant about how bad people are? No. Look at how you present yourself. If you want something, don't talk about your needs. And especially do not send text and in the hope that people just respond and then complain about it when they delay. If somebody's not responding in 1 hour, they're not interested. And if they say they are, they're not. Every idiot walks around with a phone. Okay, there are people on the planet, but we all understand what I mean over here. Most people are constantly on the phone when they're not at work. Even at work. So it's always, they're not interested. Skip, next one. Very the next one. Up. It's a numbers game. Women, and I also talked about this before, you know, people send me every day very weird requests. So can you understand? You know, can you understand how many DMs women actually get? So you're just one of those, maybe 50 a day. I know women who have ridiculous. They showed me their DM things, but you know also how people reach out. Hi, how are you doing? Hey, beautiful. All the default, standard, easy to drop. Yeah, maybe you send out 50 DMs like this a day, and maybe you get lucky once. I don't believe that also, because if you do it 50 a day, you run pretty quickly out of interesting women. Anyways, this talk gonna be all about women? No, but one guy, when he said, yeah, I cannot find a good, reasonable woman at a young age. But the thing is, if you don't put in the work, other people will do. Yeah, and then you complain about that you're missing out. Anyway, what are we gonna do? First, now I need to do some work, and I'm looking for a spot to work. Probably I'm going to the mall first. Now we're at the Endicott Square Endicott. I actually never know the order of the fucking words. Like I always say, I'm a bad pigeon. What does it mean, though? No, a bad pigeon, a good pigeon knows where north is, because they have this thing in their head, right? They go flying stuff. You know, if you do those sport pigeon things, you understand that they have some sort of direction thing. Me, I'm a bad pigeon, as you probably understood if you watched my previous videos. And if you don't, now yeah, just follow, subscribe, and oh yeah, another little talk. And this is actually the same guy. He's actually sitting on a lot of stock, because his father is in that kind of business, stock, you know, some products. The thing is, And this is the total attitude. And again, if you're watching this, it's no disrespect, but it's simply your own fault. Because he talked about this is my daily budget. Yeah, that is all great, but I'm not interested in this, especially not if you don't do anything about it. That is always my main thing. You can mention a problem, I don't mind, but tell me also the couple solutions that you came up with, and then we can get to talk. But then I also offered him an opportunity to make, great amounts, but that is happily declined. It doesn't matter for me, it's a numbers game, because I actually do appreciate the fact that he says, no, I'm not interested. But the next time, when we meet, I don't want to hear I live on this and this budget, you know. Also, don't forget that this person lives with his parents, okay? And everything is too easy. For a lot of young people, things are too easy. They don't have to, you know. They don't have to. So later. Like I said, I started knocking on doors to clean bicycles when I was 11, and then going to the fun fairs in the evening to collect money that drunk people lost. See, and the thing is, it's not to tell you, oh, you try to brag over here. No, I'm trying to make you aware, even if you're, let's say, 20 and you think you got all the time in the world. You understand what I say? See, I lived a very colorful life with a lot of ups and downs, but I learned from it and I have peace with everything. And if you don't live a life of, let's say, a lot of ups and downs, what is going to be your value to the world? You're going to walk around like a zombie, you know? And of course, I also understand a lot of people are not really interested in other people. I understand that. But to live a life of fulfillment, I do believe that engaging, communicating with a lot of people makes you very feel fulfilled. And I really believe in this, because I get really every day a lot of joy from the fact that I can talk with all the people. And like I said yesterday, I'm every day very grateful for everything. And I actually, if you didn't watch it, then watch it. So when I walk around, you know, I'm always grateful that my knees are working, that I don't have to repeat it, just watch the video of yesterday, and you know, and you can do this everywhere. And the more grateful you walk around, the more positive energy also, genuine positive energy, because this is also something a lot of people fake it. Just look at them very closely, how they speak. You know, they say I'm very positive. Listen to the tone of their voice. How much positivity is in the tone of the voice. A lot of people don't have to tell you exactly in words what they actually mean. See, in my case, I can read people, the way they walk, the way they look. I can read people because I'm doing this for a long time, you know, and I'm obsessed with it. But just really start looking around, observing the people around you. Are they really say what they are, or, you know? In the meantime, I'm just showing you around. The weather is good, and this is again Indica Square Indica. It's also ridiculous, huh? I'm living over here for multiple years, and I'm still wrestling with the fact how to do the name things. But anyway, if you don't like it, then just hate me for it and do a thumbs down, or forgive me and do a thumbs up. Anyway, come on people, everything is action. And action also reflects through your character and how you present yourself. You don't have to say a lot, when you're a man of action, you don't have to say a lot. People can just smell it. The way you walk, the way you, if you don't say anything, the way you talk, I would say, but that would rhyme nicely. But just do things. Just do it. Fail. Don't be afraid to fail. Because like I always say, who gives a freaking rat's ass? Maybe they'll laugh at you. Good. Get rid of those people. You exactly know what kind of character they actually do have and how good their intentions are. Their genuine intentions for you. They laugh at you failures. Get rid of them straight away. Boom. There are more than enough good people on the planet. More than enough. More than you can handle. Yeah, I could say that. Anyway, let's take a look around. As you can see, I don't know if you see it, we're in Sofia. Okay, of course. Wait a minute, there's a lot of police actually. Don't know why. Maybe some kind of festival or I don't know what. I'm a bad pigeon and I'm a bad follower of so-called events. I'm totally not up to date about news and everything because I don't want to waste time on that. And still, you know, I said this also once before. I made once, and I really want to discuss this post along the way, not today, but once I said in a fitness group, and I got nothing against fitness people, the one to go all the way, but the ones, you understand a little bit, but I'm a little bit rattling now. So I made a post over there, said I wasted 35 minutes on watching television last year. Well, those people, they went totally bananas, totally, and they also got into the offensive talks. That's how sensitive they were about their so-called little discipline. Yeah, it says something about, you know, training in very controlled environments, that everything is warm, you're running a little bit on the treadmill, and you can say I run for half an hour on the treadmill. You know, a treadmill, if you stand with your feet on the side, it's still rolling, and you can say you do 10 kilometers. You know, see, that's why I love the concrete. You have to push yourself away. It's not gonna roll backwards. You know, you're not. And also when it's about the weather conditions, make sure it builds your character. Everything what is comfort, it's totally fucking garbage. Everything what's comfort, you need to fucking suffer every day, mentally, physically, every single day. That is my personal view, of course. Not everybody has the energy for it, or also not the desire, because most people don't like to be uncomfortable. And let's be very honest. But if you actually start enjoying to be uncomfortable, you will reflect this into the world, because people can smell it. Never underestimate that people. Yeah, okay, they don't listen really to their gut feeling, but they can feel it. They can feel it, that you're obsessed. Okay, getting in a tram, going to the mall to take care of some banking problems for people in Malta. Ciao. So now I'm in Bojana. We got 2 meetings over here. I ate a little bit chicken. And when it's about food, I only eat food to fuel myself, and I'm in general not going for the taste. Is taste important? Yes, but the fuel part is more important, and that's why I ate 2 chicken legs, just to fuel myself to go to the calisthenics spot over there before I go into a meeting. And you know, every 5 or 6 days, I feel a little bit, let's say, tired. You know, like normal people would do at the end of the day, they're exhausted. Well, I got the same feeling every 5 days, and that's pretty much now one of those days. And in order to punish myself for feeling tired, I'm gonna do a ridiculous calisthenics session before I go into the meeting, and that again levels up my mindset. Because you know, feeling tired is pretty much the same like feeling hungry. You are actually not as hungry as you think. In general, you're not as tired as you think. And you know what? Of course, I have way much more colorful experiences that there is no space even for feeling tired. So I do have situations that are way beyond normality and that I had to push through. But I'm gonna show you this, by the way. So also when you feel tired, try to push through once in a while, instead of sitting down and talk how bad your job is with other colleagues. Just do something else. Walk. Walking is also one of those things. That's why I took a bus, because I was in the villa next to Mall, Bulgaria, and I took a bus to Bojana, and I got out one stop earlier so I can walk a little bit uphill. So that is my tiny warm-up before I get into the calisthenics over there, and then I'm gonna slaughter myself again tomorrow, again the day after, again and again and again and again. Yeah, Dylan, why do you repeat this? Well, every day you got another chance to prove yourself that you're freaking worthy to walk around on this planet. And again, that kind of mindset is not for everybody. I'm totally aware of it. But let's say if you do 10% of it and you do a little bit better than yesterday, provide a little bit more entertainment, value to the people around you because of my weird talks, quote unquote weird talks, then I already did my job. Let's say it like this, and that's the purpose of my vlogs, just that people can understand a little bit more and appreciate a little bit more, and also try to do a little bit harder, because like I said earlier, comfort is really a how should we call it? Comfort is simply a killer of the growth of your character, and not only your character, also your physical appearance, right? Because you think everything is good, lay down, relax, eat a bag of chips, watching Netflix, playing games till you're totally exhausted mentally, and that's what you do every day. Hopefully not, people, because nobody actually benefits from that kind of efforts for your selfish entertainment, because you know, somehow most people like to escape reality and don't face it. In the end, it's beautiful. And also the people who know the amount of drugs that I used between my 20s and my 30s, and we're not talking about a little bit party amount, you know, a couple of grams here and there. No, good amounts of scoops of everything. And this is not to brag. The main reason of using a lot of drugs was really looking for something deep in my mind that I knew was something over there, but yeah. And of course it enhanced the party thing, but if you use so much drugs, it definitely not improves your party thing, trust me. And also the aftermath, you know, because this is the thing also about drugs, you build very quickly, instantly, connection with people who also use drugs. But that connection is all fabricated. It's like instant gratification with the social media, right? Ting, 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 happy, 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 happy. And that's why, see, I used boatloads of drugs. But there are also people. So one of my requirements is simply now, people who use drugs, they are lazy. They want quick gratification. And not everybody is like this. I know a few that are totally obsessed with what they're doing. But that is really rare, really rare. So let's say another red flag, something that I would never work with, is people who are on drugs. Because there is one very nice example of this. This guy, I started doing social media with him, and I knew he also said it. He was also not ashamed of it. But I thought, let's give it a chance. But that guy is totally, ghosted me. The thing is, I don't mind, but I prefer that people are upfront, honest, because I do put in the work mentally, especially mentally, because I always want to bring something to the table. So if I have an appointment at 2 o'clock, I make sure that I'm mentally in the best shape and energy level wise, so I don't waste other people their time. So I'm doing this with everything. Even if I go to the fucking supermarket, I hype myself a little bit up. But it's already a natural thing. It don't cost me a lot of effort anymore. But I hype myself up, to bring good energy to the people behind the register. Everything. So I always want to provide the right values and the right approach and appreciation. But and when you start doing things with people who are, doing drugs, they want quick solutions, quick fixes, short-term happiness. And that is with a lot of people. There are so many people, they just contact me with the most dumbass stuff. Hi, hello, how are you doing? Can I see this? Can I see that? We're sometimes incredibly inappropriate, but I don't mind. But if they don't get the response on the dumbass request, always bring a little bit something to the table, people. And it's the same with the dating people. They say, I want this, I want that. I never talk about what I want. I got certain filters for the women that I like. High energy and genuine interest in the people around them. See, and there are of course limits to that, but women with high level of energy and they're a little bit matured, they understand where the boundaries are, and also they have been, all the women I ever had, they all have been exposed to a lot of, let's say, external distractions. Let's call them distractions. So they know the boundaries, and I like that. I really like that. Also, I like to see a little bit life on the face. I also don't like women with boatloads of makeup that is drooling off their face once it gets a little bit warm. Think about it. A woman that needs to hide her real face, or dresses her up like a Barbie, but in the meantime, when you start talking with them, they're pretty much empty-headed women. And it's not anything against women. There are so many guys. They're good-looking guys, and you talk with them, and you think, there's something missing. So it's not only about girls that hiding stuff, or just want to not reveal their real faces, using a lot of filters on Instagram. But anyway, I'm going to train a little bit. There's another guy busy over there. Let's see. He's in. Yeah, that's also something. I said this before, right? So birarias, why do I like them? The places where you can drink beer, eat homemade food, and they labeled as homemade food. Let's say freshly cooked food, gordo, but people talk with each other, and that is the same in specific neighborhoods where people would say, "Oh, this is the most dangerous neighborhood in Sofia." No, people really talk with each other. Maybe that's why people call it dangerous, because they're not used to it. And Bojana is a little bit more high level let's say, high level. Like, you know, when people like to put things in boxes, the people with more money live over it. But you can see it, you know. You can really see it, especially when you walk around like me. They're not as speaking. They don't want to communicate too much because they're probably chasing the money a lot to pay their mortgages, maybe stress out about pretty much all the things that come with quote unquote, I don't want to say luxury living, because people who are, let's say, in the wealthy category, they're always very nice people. The ones that are a little bit above middle class, eh? Those are the people who really stressed about the normal stuff, chasing the mortgages every month, maybe some wives that are cheating on them. You know how it goes. Anyway, take a look around and we get to work. Let's talk about another red flag. At the moment I'm doing the calisthenics thing. Another red flag. What always gives me the ipsies and the hipsies and the cripsies, and it makes me fucking paranoid, are people who change their behavior when they are around their spouse, or when they, in this case men, when they're around women, especially a little bit out of the ordinary women. And I always like to see that, how they turn into slaves, you know, licking ass by actually showing very childish behavior, which says a lot, because when you go into business with that kind of people, you know, if you act like a slave around women, you know what happens when you get in real big doo-doo business wise. You know, they act like children. They run. And there's nothing against children, but children, okay, in my case a little different, but in general children don't get into business or money making. And if you are, by the way, if you are like this, then all the red flags that I mean or mentioned actually, you know, you're already out of the ordinary. So be careful, people. And if you're a little bit older, you can put people in positions between women and you will see. So if you're busy with selecting a business partner somehow, somewhat, look at them. And if they have spouses, that is in general a beauty. You know, you visit them at their homes and you see who's in control. And this is not about being boss or something. It's about, are they showing the real character? The real character when they're around you and or other people. And that's always a beauty. And in the end it's always, how real are they, you know, towards you. Really real. And of course, what I always like to figure out, discipline. And when people talk about discipline, going to the gym, that's all fun. But you know, you can in general see how disciplined they are. You don't have to ask, you can see it. But it's always nice if you see a little bit less and you will ask them and they go, let's say, a little bit higher than they actually present in real life. You know, you already know. They sweet talkers. So another red flag. Red flag number one that I mentioned now, see how they change around women. How they behave around their spouses. Are they turning into, from stoic to very emotional, unstable people? I have seen it. And that's also a beauty when, you know, men in suits start to cry around the women because the women shouting a little bit. I have seen it. And everything that I'm mentioning in my videos of that I'm mention, everything that I mention is based upon real life experience. And you know, I did visit many people at home before even getting into it, and I made the mistake that I did visit them and said, okay, let's push it through. But you know what, if you're obsessed, you have to get rid of people who think normal, act normal. Get rid of it. And like always, this is not for everybody. But we're again at the steel. We're doing the basics. Dips plus knee raises, high, mid, chest, pull-ups still here, knee raises, and then a lot of hanging knee raises over the parallel bars until we're exhausted. And then we're gonna meet some people. I cannot film over there because, yeah, you know, not everybody likes to be on camera. I would say, unfortunately, but along the way I want to somehow try to build it up. So, you know, because some people might think, you walk around all the time in parks and sitting on the street drinking beer. Well, maybe I just want to show you something that I'm also very down to earth. Very down to earth. Not that you just see a real part of me, that I really enjoy the normal things in life. I'm not. You will never see me drinking fancy cocktails. Fancy cocktails make me fucking sick. Not that I never did it, otherwise I wouldn't not have known that it makes me fucking sick. I'm a simple man. Beer, concrete, steel, discipline, vodka sometimes. Not so much as in the past anymore, but I'm a simple man, and I like high energy level women with genuine interest in other people. By the way, I'm still at the moment single, so DM me. And by the way, when it's about DMing, again, don't say hi or just hello or asking for inappropriate pictures or video material. Sometimes also I send, well, let's say, inappropriate images, and then straight away I need video. See, and there's another thing. Some people judge me on the thing. Yeah, what, are you not afraid that they're gonna share it on the internet? You know what? Let them share it. Some other people will get enticed. Thank you for your cooperation then. So anyway, no, I'm not afraid of that. We're all born naked. Yeah, we're gonna go off this planet naked and without any kind of belongings. People will cry for a couple of weeks, maybe some even a few hours, and that's it. Done deal. So whatever happens in between, dead, alive, getting born, you know, who gives a shit? Ciao for now.